The faculty here at the Culinary Institute of America is large, diverse, and seasoned. More than 170 chefs and instructors from 19 countries, teaching more than just technique. Amanda Prince shows us the CIA from a professor's vantage point.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Mexico Day.
And so it begins. Chef William Phillips's Cuisines of the Americas class. Students scatter to organize their stations. In chef speak, they're mise en place.
Kieran, did we pick up supplemental? Both, go.
For the next 3 hours, these Culinary Institute of America chefs in training will race the clock to cook a series of scratch-made Latin dishes. But first,
Be careful when you toast the chilies. Guajillo chilies burn like that. You must stay with them.
a lecture.
And you have this, what they call Afro-Brazilian cuisine. It has a lot of Caribbean influence, African influence, and some indigenous influence. I like to teach the students about the culture behind the food, and I think that's incredibly important when cooking food, to have, more than just a mental picture of the food and following a recipe. You want to have a feel for the food. In the Andes, the food's hotter, but Brazil, it's spicy, but they're careful about it. So by opening up their world a little bit, letting them know that other cultures are vibrant and alive like we are, they have food they love to eat, gives them a much deeper perspective on the type of cuisine that they're cooking. Okay, so there's many ways to tie these in Mexico.
Chef Phillips, who graduated valedictorian of his CIA class in 1988, went on to work in top-tier big city restaurants, but academia beckoned.
It got to a point where I wanted much more than just the kitchen aspect of things. So I always loved to read, I loved the science, I loved the culture, and so teaching academia gives me that. The tip of my knife runs along the spine, clackety, clackety, clack, like a train on the railroad track. The dish for me, again, the recipe is a tool to learn the technique of cooking, whether it be knife skills, sauce making, simmering, poaching, etc. I'm not so concerned with the end dish that we produce. I'm much more concerned with that journey along the way.
For Chef Phillips, teaching at the CIA has been a journey too, and a great study in multitasking.
Okay, you're gonna season your meat beforehand, right? Yes. Good.
I notice as I watch you, you're teaching with all senses. You could be across the room and you smell something that might be not quite right, and you race over to say, wait, how long has that been on the burner?
You have one burner off in the back.
Do you need to use all 5 senses here?
All of them, and that's what we try to teach also. When you just start out in the career, you don't understand a lot of that, but you can look across the kitchen and tell something's boiling when it should be simmering, due to the amount of steam coming out. Keep them moving until they're out, because they're gonna get too dark. My nose is trained for sure to know when roux is properly. I can tell what color it is across the kitchen, and that's experiences, years and years of it.
Chef Phillips circles the kitchen, inspecting, smelling, tasting, ensuring his students reach their potential.
So being on top of it to make sure that every little thing they do is excellent along the way, so that not only do you have success, but they have success. And of course that'll help build their confidence. Mix that and taste it again. And they pepper you with questions. It could drive your average human mad, so you have to have incredible patience.
And it took patience to get the flavor profiles of this mole just right.
Okay, what do you notice now?
I kind of get a little more of the sweetness.
Okay. How about chocolate?
That was the sweetness, yeah.
This Mexican chili and chocolate sauce required countless adjustments.
Exactly. I'm gonna go a little more. Gotta be very careful now.
But in the end, there was this.
What was the goal in having your students make the mole? What did you want to teach them?
The goal is to teach techniques of Mexican cooking.
Okay.
So as far as the chilies go, it's the de-seeding and de-stemming, the dry roasting of those ingredients, the rehydration, the pureeing, and then all the dry roasting techniques of all the vegetable, or the nuts and the fruit and things that go into that mole also.
It's absolutely delicious. I mean, that really tastes like restaurant quality. How would you grade this dish?
I think that it came out really, really nicely.
Yeah, you like this one?
So there's a lot of things that can go wrong, Chilies can get over toasted and bitter. Nuts and seeds can get not toasted enough, so you have raw flavors, or over toasted again, more bitter flavors. Every little thing done well adds up to what you taste right here on the plate.
Would this dish get an A?
It would.
Excellent.
Exactly, like a chicken. Yep.
Can you spot early talent? When a new student comes in, do you know like this is going to be an incredible chef?
I call it it.
Yeah.
And it's not maybe just having a good palate, it's everything in the kitchen. So it would be ambition, it would be the drive needed, attention to detail, asking the right questions. So keep that as the model. Again, we don't want gigantic ones.
How has food TV changed the landscape? Have you seen students come in more prepared because they're watching, cooking shows, or are they coming in wanting to be the next celebrity chef?
A lot of them come in wanting to be the next celebrity chef. And a lot actually admit to me that they came here because the cooking channel, and I'll say inspired them. But a lot of them, it looks fun the way the TV is. One thing that they have to be wary of, well, they'll find out really, really quickly that there's a lot of math, there's a lot of science, and what you don't see going on behind the scenes of a cooking channel show is the hard part. I think you have to know in your soul that this is what you want to do. If you've decided that, you'll come here and do really, really, really well.
Follow your favorite food show on Twitter @Restaurant Hunt and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/restauranthunter.